What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is December the 19th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over what big money is doing and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, GDP just came out better than anticipated. So kind of erasing all the fears from yesterday. Came in at 3.1, forecast was 2.8. So very good stuff. Of course, the big one to really watch for is tomorrow's PCE. That's going to be very directly correlated with what kind of Powell was saying in regards to inflation and whatever else. So definitely stay tuned for that. But market doesn't seem to care, so it is really moving higher. NASDAQ up 0.68, S&P up 0.65, Dow is up 0.6, and Fear and Greed Index did get hit quite hard yesterday, so it is under the fear category. But in my opinion, I feel like there's some discrepancy. You are seeing a lot of stocks just moving up based on speculation, so I feel like even though this does represent fear, it is a little bit higher than that psychologically, if that kind of makes sense. But again, we'll just have to wait and see how that all plays out. Starting off, Sofi. Sofi is really rebounding quite well, up 3.35%. No news, no SEC filings associated to Sofi, so kind of just merely reacting to the broader market. And if you kind of think about what Powell said yesterday, yes, less rate cuts, yes, possibly higher inflation, but at the same time, he said that the market is strong. I think a lot of people are kind of overthinking a lot of it, but what do I know, right? I'm not a financial advisor. You do whatever floats your boat. Going into today, though, 12.5% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 133.12 million shares. And shorts have been surprisingly rather active lately. So breaking the trend from what has been happening. So short's been returning ever since September the 16th, 19.56% short interest, which is very crazy. So I still feel shorts will return anywhere from up to around 10 to 11%. So still a little bit more to go. And I think with good PCE data tomorrow, that could be that X kind of catalyst. With it right now at 1575, it is trading between these 2 points. So the pivot in this S1, so 1544 and then 1512 are going to be two support levels, so you'll want to watch for it to hold. 1596 and then 1647 are going to be kind of targets for the market today. So we'll again just have to watch exactly the support levels and where it all goes. But moving on, ticker MU, Micron. So they did have their earnings, actually relatively good earnings. They just kind of didn't really give good future guidance. So that's what is really hitting it very, very hard right now. And so in my opinion, I think the market is going to take it for face value and actually be buying the dip. Similar to myself, I did buy in at $88.36, something like that. Because yeah, I saw this as a crazy overreaction, but again, sometimes my crystal ball is wrong. Shorts have started to get in on this company, obviously, just for transparency purposes. It is not a squeeze play, but it's good to analyze what they're doing. So shorts have been getting in roughly low at the beginning of December. Was at 3%, so 3.09. Now it is at 3.4. Again, not a squeeze play, but it is still interesting to note. So they were anticipating for a miss on their earnings. Right now with it at $91.90, it is trading between this S1 and this S2. So 90.99 is going to be that strong support. Flip side, 95.42. So potentially this is where I do see you could see a recovery to this S1, and then dependent on the momentum at the time, you could see possibly push higher. But yeah, I think as far as today, you can see this S1 being touched. Moving on, ticker VRAR. So they did announce a agreement with the U.S. Navy. And so yeah, pretty good stuff. So it is up 22.19%. And so that news came out this morning. Yesterday alone, it went up 101.26%. So this stock is on a massive tear. And it is, for short interest purposes, 4.85% of the free float. So not heavily shorted, so that's not going to play a part into today. But you can kind of see shorts have been starting to get in a little bit. as you can kind of see. So it did recently have a high of 7.14% on December the 12th, but I feel like even worst case scenario, shorts won't really influencing it. So this stock definitely is on a move right now with it at 394 or 392. It's trading between this R1 and the pivot. So $5 essentially is going to be that next strong resistance. So potentially, given the good momentum, that might be where it is heading. And then if it can get above that, then 670. As far as support purposes, if there is a pullback, just watch for 296. So I don't see that being touched whatsoever today. So once again, do your own due diligence. So ticker LAES. So this one is up 3.42%. And interestingly enough, I do have a video coming out. I think it's like in an hour, can't remember, on this channel though. Top 5 most heavily shorted squeeze stocks. And this one did make the list only because of the recent run up, and shorts haven't been covering and just the high short score. So spoiler alert, but it is up 2.99%. No actual news associated to the company itself today. So kind of just piggybacking off of just the broader market today and recovering that aspect. Short score 81.7. So based on my upcoming video, is kind of using that number because that comprises of utilization, cost to borrow, as well as number like overall short interest. So 58.94% of the free float is being shorted. It doesn't show the cost to borrow right now because it's kind of resetting, but in my video I think it was at like 900% or something along those lines. So this stock definitely does have everything what it needs to have a squeeze. So once again, just to kind of take note of that, with it at $2.37 is right on this R2. So watch for it to kind of stay above that. And then if so, you could see that 298 potentially being touched today. And then other than that, 458 will be another kind of target / resistance. Flip side, if it does continue to pull down for whatever reason, 199 is going to be a strong support. So just take note of those. And then last but not least, SoundHound. SoundHound is continuing its beautiful run. It is up 7.36% this morning. No actual news associated to them whatsoever today. There was a couple more Form 4s that was submitted after hours yesterday. So insiders still selling, regrettably, but market doesn't seem to care all that much. Still FOMO, so SoundHound's a good hybrid stock. It's an AI play, momentum stock, and definitely a lot of capital is getting in on it to make it a momentum stock and just a squeeze play. And I say a squeeze play because 25.69% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 84.39 million shares. Just generally looking over here, shorts the stock has ran up 242.85% over the last 1 month. Shorts have not covered, have not done anything. If anything, they've actually increased their position. So if SoundHound does and is able to continue its good momentum higher, this is where you could see a squeeze. And with the DTC at 1.74 days, you could see a very nice bump up. Right now with that 22.30, it is trading between this R3 and this R2 and the classic. So $20.22 going forward, we know now is a good support. Flip side, 24.81, it's going to be that next strong target. And it might be just the optimist in me, but I feel like this R3 is going to be touched. So you'll see 24.81. As I brought up in my dedicated video yesterday, the options is signaling $30. So once again, take that from what you will. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Do you own any of them? And what other stocks is kind of floating your boat? One final thing though, I do want to share with you. I did launch a Patreon where I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, so pop over there and take a look. SoundHound, yours truly, has actually been one of the biggest successes in pretty much that 1 month that I've launched it, but many others have already doubled. I'm going to be starting to dabble a lot more into crypto as well if that's your forte, so definitely take a look. With that, appreciate all of you guys watching.